Hey there, everyone, and welcome to Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Well, for those of you who can't seem to get enough golden tea, I've got good news for you, because you might have another option coming soon. I'll tell you all about it right after this. Alright everyone, before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this video. If this happens to be your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscription button, click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put up a new video, give this one a thumbs up, and leave a comment below if you want to be part of the conversation. Well, it looks like 2024 is really panning out to be the year of golden tea. We've gotten multiple golden teas from a couple of different companies, and it looks like the hits keep on coming. And of course, first it was Arcade1up with their Golden Tea 35th Anniversary Deluxe version. This was basically the shrunk down version of the XL that they put out a couple of years ago with the better BOE monitor, although 17 inches versus 19 inches, but pretty much the same games list as their XL original version of this, just a new updated version of Golden Tea. And then, of course, more recently, we saw them come out with this Golden Tea 3DX Midway Legacy XL, which is a Costco exclusive. Now, again, you've got the Golden Tea games on this. You've got a bunch of different games from Midway coming to 20 games list on this, exclusive to Costco. This beautiful monstrosity, depending on how you feel about it, is a Costco exclusive, but really it's just another Golden Tea with a bunch of added games to it. And then, of course, there's New Wave Toys, who a couple of months ago announced this, their 1/6 scale Golden Tea Replicade. 6 different Golden Tea games on it, fully playable on a 1/6 scale arcade machine. You can even get a full-size trackball controller to go with this to play it on a big screen or however you want. But again, yet another version of Golden Tea. And now we're back to Arcade1up, who looks like they might be releasing yet another version of Golden Tea. That will be 3 different versions of Golden Tea from them if this actually happens to come out later this year. But where am I getting this from? Where does this rumor come from? Well, it comes from shipment notifications. All right, so what I'm looking at here is the Import Genius website, which is where you can look up different shipments coming in from different companies. And it looks like Tastemakers, the parent company of Arcade1up, received a shipment container on August 25th with a bunch of different things in it. Now, going over this shipment manifest, one of the things you'll notice is that they got about 230 more versions of the Golden Tea 3D 35th Anniversary machine. That was the first one that I showed you guys, the first new version of Golden Tea that they came out with this year. Now, it looks like this shipment also contains versions of the Class of 81 Deluxe machine, about another 160 pieces of that. And rounding out this shipment manifest is going to be a bunch of miscellaneous parts and pieces, things that they use for repairs and things like that. A lot of times these shipments are going to come with things like that, but none of this is what I'm concerned with. What I'm concerned with is this little piece in the middle, and that's this guy right here. It says Arcade Game Sample Golden Tea / Bowling Deluxe Arcade Machine, 40 pieces. Now you'll notice it does say sample, and that was the same thing we saw in the shipping manifest for what basically turned out to be the Class of 81 pub table that is a Costco exclusive. So the fact that it says sample might mean this is something that they're maybe going to use to try to shop around to retailers. Maybe this will never see the light of day, or maybe this is just something they're getting in. Again, maybe this is going to be another Costco exclusive. Not sure, but let's just focus on the fact that there is something here that came in called Golden Tea / Bowling Deluxe. So what could this possibly be? Well, I don't think it's just another iteration of the same Golden Tea that we've seen, because you can see that they got in a bunch more of the Golden Tea 35th Anniversary Deluxe machines on that same shipment. So if it's basically the same as that machine, why have it be a separate machine, a separate thing like that? Now, when the Golden Tea Midway came out for Costco, we did see a shipment manifest for that a few weeks before it wound up showing up in Costco with a similar naming to it, Golden Tee / Midway. So I'm wondering if this is, again, another new version of Golden Tee, but possibly with more bowling games on it. So the Golden Tee versions that Arcade1up have been putting out lately have all had world-class bowling on it. The Deluxe has it. The Golden Tee / Midway has it on there. So odds are that this version is also going to have world-class bowling, but will it have more than that? And at this point, this is where I have to dive into speculation completely on this because, as you can see from that shipping manifest, there isn't a lot to go on. There's just something called Golden Tee / Bowling. Again, could this be just another iteration of the same Golden Tee Deluxe that we've seen already? Sure, it certainly could be, but I don't know what the point of that would be when the 35th anniversary really did just come out this year, is still available, and as you can see, they're getting more stock of it. So I don't know why you would come out with another one just to maybe change the marquee on it, change the graphics a little bit to focus on bowling, and just have one bowling game on it. So what else could they possibly put on there? Well, there is one thought, but unfortunately, it's kind of a long shot. And of course, the one game everybody would love to actually see this come with is Silver Strike Bowling. Also made by Incredible Technologies, the same company that does Golden Tee, uses a lot of the same technology, although this version I'm showing here, I believe, is from 2009 and uses much more updated technology than the versions that are in the Arcade1up right now for Golden Tee. So while I think this is what everybody would love to actually see, there's a couple of problems with it. Now, of course, the biggest problem here is that Silver Strike Bowling is incredibly hard to emulate. Now, as far as I'm aware, the arcade version is actually PC-based. I believe it's a Linux backend that it's running. And it's just really, really difficult to emulate. I don't even think that you can get this in things like MAME at this point right now. So I don't know that the arcade version as it stands could possibly run on one of Arcade1up's PCBs. I think they did look into it at one point for Golden Tee and couldn't get it to work. I know New Way Toys even considered it and couldn't get it to work. So I don't know how feasible it is with current technology. Now, that's not to say that it's completely impossible. It could be possible that they're working with Incredible Technologies or another company to maybe make a version of Silver Strike Bowling that would work on their PCBs. Now, similar to like what happened with Raw Thrills and the Fast and the Furious, they basically took the arcade version of that, deconstructed it, kind of merged two games together or split one game in half, however it wound up being, kind of building it from the ground up so that while it looked and played similar to the arcade, it wasn't in fact the actual arcade ROM. It was a game built from the ground up to be similar to the arcade. Now, could they wind up doing the same thing with Silver Strike Bowling? Yes, and I think if they were going to do that and include that, that would be something that they would have to do. They would have to build a version of it that would work on their hardware. Now, whether or not that's what people actually want is a whole nother story, but I think it's probably the only way we might get a game like Silver Strike Bowling on an Arcade1up machine. Of course, the other possibility is it might not be Silver Strike Bowling at all. It might be something else. Now, I'm not up on all of the arcade bowling games that are out there. I know The Simpsons had a bowling game that was made by Konami. I know there is a Capcom bowling game. There's also a Coors Light bowling game, but that's actually an alternate version of the Capcom one. So basically the same game. Would Capcom or Konami license a game to use on a Golden Tee machine? I don't know, but hey, look, they got Midway to license a bunch of games to go on a Golden Tee machine, so I guess anything is possible at this point. What it ultimately winds up being, I have no idea, but I can't imagine that they're going to put out a machine that is a Golden Tee / bowling hybrid with just the one same bowling game that the Golden Tee 35th anniversary and the Golden Tee Midway already have on it. So that, of course, like I said, is where the speculation's got to come in. Now, it's also possible that this could be something completely different. It's possible this may never see the light of day. Maybe this is something that they're getting in to shop around to retailers and it won't happen. Maybe it'll wind up being a Costco exclusive. Again, not much to go on a shipping manifest, but I did find this and I did want to put this out to you guys and get your thoughts. What do you think? What do you think this is going to wind up being? And if it does include some version of Silver Strike Bowling, will that make you want to buy another Golden Tee? Or maybe you haven't bought one yet and this is the one you've been waiting for. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm going to end it here because I really don't have much else to go on. Anything else, again, is just going to be speculation. Like I said, I'm not up on every bowling game out there that could possibly be added to this. If you guys think of any, please leave them in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. But that's it for now. That's going to do it for this one. Yet another Golden Tee from Arcade1up, possibly coming out later this year. That's all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and keep those comments coming. That's all for now. Happy gaming. Take care.